If I told you this screenshot made me realize how amazing Guild Wars 2 really is, would you think I was crazy? Guild Wars 2, for all its glory, has always been the game people in my circles wish they could like. They sit down, play it, put it down, and never touch it again. I used to be like that, once. Just playing games at surface level. Until one day I realized the disservice I was doing to both myself and the legendary experiences that had passed me by. Thanks to Guild Wars 2, I've started being able to actually enjoy both gaming and life again, as it's taught me lessons I never thought I could learn, and shown me I was more capable than I let myself realize. You see, when you spend your time surface gaming, we'll call it, you see everything, but you experience nothing. It used to happen to me playing with friends who were much faster than me, where I had to forego small details of gaming just to keep up. But I found that this play style of gaming stuck with me, even after gaming alone for a while. I eventually resigned myself to always be the person who would get to see other people with cool stuff. I'd see Incinerator and say, man, that's really cool. I wish I could have that. All the while knowing a task like that was far too much for me. I didn't have that time, that dedication, that discipline. So game to game I went, leaving my hopes and dreams behind me in every game I walked away from, as if to walk in starry-eyed and dash my own hopes when I walked away. With every game I played, there was always something I wished I could do, but never could. I never believed that I could do it, until I took this screenshot, and it all made sense. Guild Wars 2 has an in-game system called gem conversion, allowing you to exchange in-game gold to the premium store currency, which for me, as a struggling YouTuber, was a gold mine. You mean I could get cool skins and all I had to do was play? I was in. I quickly realized how much I loved Longbow Ranger, and was beyond annoyed when I realized that they only had maybe over a dozen non-trench coat chest pieces in total, a number which thankfully has been expanding over the recent years, but only thanks to the gem store. You see, I was presented with a weird predicament pretty early into my Guild Wars 2 experience. Deadass broke, and the only ways to make my class look cool required either a lot of money or a shitload of grinding. So I got to work, learning fractals, mastering PvP, understanding the systems of Guild Wars 2, and eventually, after a few months of waiting for the armor I wanted to go on sale, I finally got the Crichton set, a returning set from Guild Wars 1 that had a chest piece without a trench coat, allowing me to start making any transmog I wanted. And during that time of acquiring the Crichton set, I had learned a lot. I made friends that helped me get started in Guild Wars 2, and I realized that I actually wanted to try for Incinerator, even if I just slowly chipped away at it over years to come. I wasn't going to make it, but the pipe dream was nice. During my time getting the Crichton set, I also discovered another medium set that blew me away. The Strider set. Looking as close to Sylvanas as I could possibly get, and covered head to toe in blades, with transparent coverings to show off my Norn's tattoos, I needed to add it to the anti-trench coat wardrobe. So off I went, to discover more of Guild Wars 2, slowly progressing through my Incinerator's precursor, and getting much better at PvP. Learning more about fractals from the community of players that was willing to teach me, and slowly helped me raise my fractal level and do my dailies to earn a nice chunk of gold. And after a while of waiting for another sale, I got the Strider set, allowing me to mix and match with the Crichton to make all new transmogs that I would still use to this day. As I reached fractal level 75, they launched Chaos Gloves, a returning item from Guild Wars 1 that I always wished I could have gotten back when I was younger, only having ever gotten the stone gloves back in the day, although I did want the destroyer and dragon gloves. Maybe one day I'll go back. So every day, I logged in, ran my daily fractals with new groups of people, learned new optimized skips, figured out new ways to make gold, attempted some trading post flipping, messed around with some new builds, and eventually got Chaos Gloves. Something childhood me would have been ecstatic over. It was at this point I would put down Guild Wars 2 for a while, and venture into different games, until I eventually came back, months later. Completely lost and unsure what to do, until I looked in the gem store and saw the Ice Reaver chess piece. Not only was it not a trench coat, but it glowed. You know I was back in. And so the cycle begun again. New builds, new people, new experiences, all whilst working towards something I actually wanted, and being rewarded in more ways than just gold. All the while, wearing my previous achievements. And yes, I know it may seem stupid to care this much about gloves or a chess piece, but that's the point. Guild Wars 2 lets you care about whatever you want. It lets you decide what's important to you, no matter how stupid it is, and it does its best to help you get there. After the chess piece, I was directionless, but now, wearing 3 of my past achievements, the impossible might just be possible. So, I started my 2-year journey towards Incinerator. Every day, I logged in and I did something. I didn't care what it was, just something to further my goal, something to get me closer, inch by inch, day by day. And slowly, things started to fall into place. I built the precursor by hand, which was a fucking horrible idea, cost-wise, by the way. Now that I know what I'm doing, terrible idea. But an experience I'm grateful for, as it took me across Tyria, through puzzles and dungeons I never knew existed and walked right by. I fought my way through the fucking disaster that is the achievements panel to figure out how to build the damn thing. I was going to fucking finish it. So to do that, I needed 100% world completion. So as I had decided to make a thief and branch out in the medium class, so I could get more value out of the armor I had worked so hard for, I went for 100% completion on that, and discovered my love for Shortbow Deadeye, the build I would finish the rest of Core Tyria with. It was at this time that I went through a massive period of shit in my life. I wound up living with some very horrible people. But at the end of the day, even if everything was falling apart around me, I could log in and feel like I made some progress towards something I wanted. It kept me going back then. So eventually, day by day, I 100%ed Core Tyria. And when I saw that gift of mastery on my screen, I felt a true sense of achievement for the first time in a while. And it was on. I needed a gift of battle, so I went to World vs. World and met a revenant named Forlorn, who I roamed with for around 8 hours until I got my gift. If you're out there, I appreciate you, my friend. And finally, after 2 years of dedication, 2 years of hour by hour, day by day, I hit craft. I equipped my incinerator, and finally, it all made sense. As I looked at the blade, I began to remember the hard-fought victories in dire straits, the friends who taught me fractals and are now lost to time, the adventures through Tyria, and the stupid shit I would find. It wasn't a legendary because it looked cool. It was a legendary because the story of building it became legend. And I know, when it's all said and done, it's just a game that disappears the moment I get up from this chair. But to this day, every time I wield that blade, I remember everything. And whilst not everything comes with a legacy, like my bow that I bought off the trading post for 79 gold. And whilst not everything has to be a drawn-out journey, like my boots, that were part of the 10-year celebration that allowed me to re-explore Tyria at my own pace for one of the coolest sets medium armor can wear. Sometimes, seeing a journey's end is to close a chapter. Like my Wings of Ascension, my most recent 8-year journey that I wear proudly as a testament to my own prowess and dedication. And yes, you may have built them faster. You may have done it better. You may have more optimal methods. You may have swiped a card to spend the gold on it. But not me. I did it. All of it. I finally did it. In Guild Wars 2, you don't wear armor. You wear stories. You don't wield weapons. You wield legends. Which is why it always made me sad that my friends never paid attention during character creation. Because they told you, right from the start, that this is my story. So what's yours?